Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel, and today I'm going to be sharing with you my top 3 favorite card games. If you're new to my channel, my name is Alisa and I like to talk about some of my hobbies, one of which is board gaming. So today I'm sharing with you some card games that I just love, giving you a little background. My husband and I prefer to play shorter games, and we also like games that are pretty simple to learn, easy to teach. We have 3 little boys, so really long brain burners are just games that we don't play as often. Every now and then we do enjoy those, but for the most part we do kind of like the lighter to medium weight type of games. Now, these card games I'm sharing with you today are games that I mainly just play 2-player. Some are not just 2-player only though, but I mainly just play with games with my husband, so that's kind of why. And a lot are also portable, and we take and play at restaurants or on, when we go on dates and stuff. Also, I absolutely love card games. Any game with cards I'm probably more prone to like versus a game that doesn't have cards. I grew up playing cards. I grew up playing Shanghai Rummy, regular Rummy. When I got older, I started playing poker. I love card games, and so I think a lot of these games are so quick and we can just bust them out, and they're just fun. So I have 3 that I'm going to share with you that are my current favorites that can easily change, but right now they're my favorites. But I thought I would start with some honorable mentions. Let's start with those first. So the first one is Fairy Tale. We've owned this one for quite a while. This is a card drafting game. It is 2 to 4 players, or 2 to 5 actually. It plays in about 30 minutes, but I've only played it 2-player, and I love it as a 2-player game. It's a very quick game. Our 2-player game probably is shorter than 30 minutes. I like the artwork in it, and again, I think it's easy, a very simple game. The first time reading the rules, you kind of have to go back and kind of think about, now wait, what are we doing? But once you get going, it's not too difficult at all. So we really like this game, and this is one of my first games that I purchased when I got into this hobby. Okay, the next one I've only played a couple of times, and I've loved it. If I played it more, it may move up higher, but this is called Morels, and again, this is another quick game, plays in about 30 minutes. This is a 2-player only game, but so much fun. Just a ton of fun. We love this one. So it does have a few other components, but the main component is cards. It's a lot of fun, so you should check that one out. This other one's also a 2-player only game, and we've had this one for a long time as well when I first got into the hobby. And that is Lost Cities. This is by Reiner Knizia. This is kind of a mathy, thinky card game. Again, really quick to play, and we've taken this one camping. We've taken this one just on date nights. We just really like it. We like it a lot. So played this one a lot. So this one is another great game. And then my last honorable mention, I think if I played it more, it would end up being in my top 3 because I loved it, and that is Arkham Horror, the card game. This is an LCG, which is a living card game. There's a ton of expansions for it, but we loved this one. It is longer. I think when we first played it, it did play like 2 hours to learn and play, and then it is a much more thinkier game, so it's not on as light as these other ones that I've mentioned, but we love the theme. We're big into the horror theme and the thriller theme, so the theme was super fun, and they have different scenarios that you can play, and we just loved it. Now, my husband didn't love the mechanics as much in this one. He just kind of loved the storytelling aspect. I loved it all, and I couldn't wait to play it again, so we just need to play it a little bit more. But yeah, there's the rule book's pretty long and lengthy, and it's definitely one you have to learn and kind of get your head wrapped around it. But once you get going, we found it to be pretty simple once we started and understood how turns went. This is a cooperative game as well, which all the other ones have been competitive that I've mentioned, so it's kind of fun to play a card game where you're working together to try to defeat these various obstacles that you face. So love this game. Yeah, so okay, so now let's just move on to my 3 favorite games. Okay, so my number 3 is Arboretum. I love this game so much. This one is just so much fun. It is a 2 to 4 player game. I prefer it just 2 players. I have played it 2 player and 3 player. Why I like this game so much is it's a type of game where you have several cards in your hands, but you have to really think hard about which ones you're going to play and which ones you're going to discard. Because when you discard a card, your opponent could possibly grab the card you discarded, which could help them. So every card in your hand are usually amazing, and you don't want to get rid of them, because I don't want to help my opponent too much, but I also want to keep all the ones that are like the best for me. But when they're all great, it's really hard to figure out which one am I going to discard. So I love that idea. I just love the tension of that. Now that is exactly why my husband despises this game. He does not like this game at all, and that's pretty much the main reason, is the idea of getting rid of your cards that you absolutely love, and you have to get rid of them. And so he doesn't like it, but I love it. Now this version is, I believe, out of print, but Renegade Games came out with a new version in 2018, and despite the fact that my husband does not like this game really at all, he still got me the new version from Renegade Games for Christmas this year, or this past year. So would I normally own 2 copies of a game? No, but I love this game so much that he knew I would be more than happy to have the new version as well. Both, in my opinion, are beautiful in their own ways. They have different artwork. The rule book material is a little bit different, but they play exactly the same. They just look different. And so I'm happy to have both in my collection. I definitely don't need both, but it's one of my favorite games, so I have both. I love this one. That is why it is my number 3. Okay, so my number 2 favorite game is a deck builder, and I love deck building. I would say it's probably my favorite mechanism in games. So this one is my number 2 favorite card game, and that's Hero Realms. I love this. This one's so quick to play, and it's 2 to 4 players. It plays very fast, and again, I've only played it 2 player. I don't know if I'd want it. It's kind of just this game that my husband and I, we've played it so many times that I just like playing it, playing against my husband with this game. And we've taken this one to a lot of restaurants and stuff and played it. But this is one of those where if I go camping, anywhere I go, I will bring Hero Realms. Now, this company came out with Star Realms first, and I did own that one, but I didn't like the theme as much. I don't know what it was, but for me it almost seemed like too simple after playing a few of the other deck builders that I had played prior to Star Realms. So I did sell that one, and then I ended up getting this because my husband and I love the fantasy theme. And what's cool about this is you can get character packs, and so you can have different characters, and each character has their own ability, and they come with different cards and weapons that kind of go with what type. This is a fighter, this is a cleric. I also have a wizard, and so you can buy these separately and add them to your game, and then you can choose a character that you want to play, which is really neat. That's why I kind of like Hero Realms, because there's a lot out there. Same with Star Realms, also has a lot of expansions too. So, you know, you can look into both and see which, if you like space, then there's Star Realms. If you prefer the fantasy theme, then you've got Hero Realms. So that's my second favorite game. And now on to my number one. Now, this was my gateway game. This was the game that kind of really introduced me to this new world of board games, and my mind was blown the first time playing it, and I just fell in love with it, and we played it over and over and over, and still to this day, after all the other games that I've owned and I've played, this is still like my go-to game that I want to play with my husband, and that is Dominion. So this is like the original deck builder, and again, when I love card games and I had never heard of deck building, had no clue what deck building was, and when I first played this, I was just like, what? And then how much replayability there is. This was the first game I played where I knew every single game is going to be different, and that also was mind-blowing for me. I just couldn't believe that every time we play, there's going to be different cards that'll come out. We can possibly play with different cards. It was just crazy to me. And so this is what started it all. It's this game's fault. And after I discovered this, I kind of just like deep dived into what else is out there. And in the end, I still love this one. We still play it all the time. I have several expansions now for it. I want to get them all eventually. I just have so much fun playing this. And we have played this with couples. I still prefer it 2-player, but it plays just fine as a 4-player game. I've played it as a 3-player game. I still prefer 2-player just because it's one of those games where I just love playing with my husband so much that we just have so much fun playing it. And it's a quick game, but gosh, we end up playing it for probably at least an hour or more, because when we usually do like best out of 3 or best out of 5, and we just keep going. I love it. If you've not heard of this one, I mean, there are a ton of other deck builders out there, but for me, this is my favorite deck builder. It's just pure fun. I just have so much fun playing this game. I still have a lot of other deck builders that I enjoy and I will also play, but if I have to pick my number one, this is it for me, and this is just a game world that will always be in my collection. So, yeah. Alright, well, I hope you enjoyed that. Let me know what your favorite card games are. Have you played any of these ones that I've mentioned? What do you think of them? And yeah, I'm always open to suggestions, you know, based on my likes. Are there any that you would think I could possibly like? I may already own them, but I'm always open to hearing any new suggestions out there because I like playing games and I like playing new games too. So, alright, well, I hope you enjoyed this, and I hope you're having a great day, and I will talk to you later. Bye!